turned in the hoverboard, and we're on our way to a new planet. Planet Umbris. We unlocked the Infobot for it, so I'm going to head there. Yeah, there's no need to use a FrameMeister for HDMI. But this is with I've got a custom RGB cable. There's a enthusiast site that sells upgraded cables that have higher fidelity. Oh, nice, sir. I imagine so. They had us do that with Mandarin my third year, because the guy who taught it at my high school, he happened to speak Mandarin and just kind of invented a class for it. And he didn't really have any course materials for his third one, so his third one was just, hey, here's a book of Chinese proverbs. Translate some of them. It's like, okay. Oh no, it's not. It's not some gold-plated. You need a FrameMeister. If you go into Discord Loot Effects and you search for it, you can see some comparisons in the quality of composite straight to a TV versus composite through a FrameMeister to a TV. It's a huge difference. Especially if you like Super Nintendo. You probably get a better example if you just Google FrameMeister XRGB image comparison.
Welcome to my challenge course. Now is your chance to prove yourself strong and brave, like me. Conquer it, and you'll join in my fight against evil.
Haven't we done enough already?
What? I can't hear you.
I said, haven't we done?
Sorry, still having trouble. Tell me later.
Later? We might be dead by then.
What?
Gotta find that Penny Arcade comic about monster cables. They're kind of a scam. They're like luxury cables. Where, like, you can't possibly provide any luxury effect. They're bad in the sense that they cost too much for no additional function. I have a custom RGB connector for the FrameMeister for the PS2 and for the Super Nintendo. Anything beyond the Wii doesn't require it. Anything beyond the PS2 doesn't require it.
I got some great bargains for you today.
Mind Glove.
That's a real beauty.
Sure. Try it out here. Oh, gotcha, sir. Do I equip it to be able to use this thing? I might. Sweet. Oh, I'm gonna die. Maybe? Is it gonna let me make it? Wow, I did not deserve that. Basically, anything that has an HDMI in, you don't need a FrameMeister for, especially if you're trying to stream at very high fidelity. Let's try that new weapon I just picked up. Probably have to equip it though, right? Mind Glove. Equip. Something. Oh, mine like. Gotcha. No weep speak. I need to get more blaster ammo. Maybe I have other weapons that'll work. Bomb. There's a gun. I see. This game is really dark. Like, not in tone, but in its presentation style. A lot of the planets aren't really very sunny or colorful. First one's an exception. Ouch. I don't know if that's true of the whole series. I see. Can I? Is this a good use of the mine glove, maybe? It is. That's cute. I really need the blaster for this thing. I'm trying to think what other weapons I could use that are kind of close to reaching it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to back up and try to get some more ammo for the blaster. I think that merchant guy sells it. The bomb glove can reach. Oh yeah, the range on that's pretty far. Good call. I can't afford to get much closer. Oh, I killed one of them. Oh, it's... Play it safe. I'm gonna turn the game audio up a little bit. I feel like this game's fairly quiet. Let me know if it gets too loud later. Might just be the BGM. Can I only temporarily disable that? I can't destroy it ever? Ah, well, so much for that plan. I think it let me keep all of my stuff, though.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Blastering it. Yeehaw. Turrets are unkillable. Totally an intentional death. I forget, what do I lose again for dying? Just progress where I was, I get to keep all my other pickups and stuff. End your life. Like the blaster is the cheapest for a reason. I think it's already paid for itself just in the enemies I've killed on the way here. The amount of bolts you get in a stage increase pretty significantly, or is it pretty flat between levels? Or the late game areas tend to provide way more bolts than the early game areas? Shit. Whoops. Oh, it's pretty flat. Interesting. Too bad the mine glove doesn't target more of them. Looks like there's some blaster shot funneling happening there. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I guess you just try to find the area that has the highest density of enemies. Okay. Rather than trying to find specific enemies that drop a lot of stuff. Yeah. I can throw this from much further away. Wrench throw distance isn't very good. They forced me to learn about the buttons outside. That's nice. Appreciate that. Thanks, game. Doom ammo, I'll take it. Like how they introduced this turret enemy back when it wasn't a big deal to dodge. Now they're exploring it with walls that I have to deal with. It's clever. Yeah. Nice. Almost the entire game, not actually the entire game. So let me just see if I have an option here. Should help. Letting glitches. You can break the game. That's interesting. Ben! Psst. Some people's cats. Hey, it's a golden one. The bomb turrets, yeah. I was actually just thinking that when I saw it. I'm like, wow, that's the first enemy I've run into that seems to want a specific weapon to kill. Probably the door I'm going to take at the end, I'm guessing. Now, I don't actually have any evidence to suggest this other than it sounds like there's a countdown effect when I'm stepping on the green switches. Do I actually have a time limit to hit all the green switches in sequence? Or I just have to hit all three of them eventually? They do reset. all the boxes in first. It's that whole minimal 8 presses Mario 64 playthrough. It's pretty nutty. It's one of those just why videos. Consider such a thing as a half A press, like holding the button down at the beginning of a level to run is a half press. First we have to talk about purple versus. It would work for me better, I think, if the guy in the video had charisma. He kind of has this, like, screw you for not caring about this attitude. I'm gonna explain it because you're a jerk. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe it's, like, intended for people that were already fans of his channel and were, like, disputing it. So he was fighting the people that were disputing the concept. And then it got viral because of the stuff he says in it, and it doesn't seem like it's for a layperson audience. Just too bad because the premise is really cool to me. And I think that once you start doing that bizarre of a run, it helps a lot to be a little bit self-deprecating about how silly the run is. And not that, you know, all of gaming and all of speedrunning isn't fundamentally silly. But I think some of my favorite runners that I've seen at like GDQ have kind of made a joke about how silly some of the glitches are. It's not something to be taken really seriously, I guess is my point. He wasn't being sincere? Okay. See, I interpret him as being sincere, and maybe that wasn't fair, because that's the only video of him that I've ever seen. Yeah, I hear that, Aki. Character just starts moving. It sets the neutral analog positioning correctly. He stopped doing voice commentaries after that one? Interesting. Maybe he was just joking then. Alright, I need to use the water gadget. There's 2 ways I can go, maybe I don't. This is Ratchet Clank 1, yeah, that's correct. You'll have to scope it out more. I can see a version of that video where you're totally joking around with the whole first we have to talk about parallel universes, and you make it really clear in your voice that you're being facetious. But I wasn't sure to what extent, like, he was being bullied in people's response to that video. Or if it's funny on purpose. little poop pots, those are nice. Used up all my most critical ammo, unfortunately. The Hydro item basically is a switch. It's a key that can flip the state of a given pool of water on or off, right? It doesn't actually hold on to water from one state to the next. Or whether or not it's full of water isn't relevant to its capabilities. Oh, really? So it's not a switch. I guess that can matter to the puzzle design. Really? I really do need to get Andrea to play this game. She's such a fan of Spyro. Oh, what's the updated Spyro release date for the remastered trilogy? She's gonna really want to play that. I want the water up here for some reason. I'm gonna swim up somewhere. It's the same devs, right? Spyro 1 to 3. Tired of how the swimming mechanics work in this game, but they're a little janky. I think the fact that there's a blue filter on the screen is not on purpose. That's a bug. There we go. November 13th. That ended up answering a lot of questions for me about, like, what happened to... why did Spyro kind of start sucking and go in a completely different direction after the first 3 games? Oh, I see. I think I see. But it's much easier to kill the fish if there's no water. I think this is a ladder to get back up if I drop down. I think they did a really good job balancing weapon ammo in this game. This basic formula sometimes makes me nervous, like, from a game design perspective. You can kind of run into the Mega Man 2 problem where you have all these sub-weapons and only one of them is actually ever relevant. The rest of them are garbage in comparison. Some of the Mega Man games solve for that by making many of the sub-weapons have some unique purpose, like is it the charge ice beam in Mega Man X makes a little platform that you need to get certain places. You actually can't kill them if you train it. You know? I think that's hard to get right. I might be able to reach that. I think I have to. I think I have to do the Wahoo jump. Leveling weapons. If you like weapon, I've used it a lot. It's max level. Oh yeah, I hate that feeling. I get that in a lot of games. Maybe double jump after doing that. Mega Man weapons usually useful, at least once, right? Yeah, Mega Man 2 is kind of an unusual counterexample of that. Can I make it to this platform with the current tools that I have? Or do I need like an additional jump or something? I do like the idea of it making you use everything. Once you max out a weapon, you want to try the other ones. Have all the mobility upgrades. Huh. Well, it seems like the water being up is necessary to be able to get up there, but I can't. So I don't think I can jump out of the water high enough. Oh, never mind. Just took me asking why would they bother with the water design the way they did. Now here I probably need, I see. Trained. I like the idea of XP being something that you earn globally and then you get the opportunity to distribute it how you choose. That would have solved most of my complaints with Dark Cloud 2, for example. But, I don't know, there's something about the fantasy of, hey, if you use this ability, you're going to get better with it. I think I can jump this. It's the dream that Final Fantasy 2 is trying to achieve. Failing at. This area just comes off as super dark. Lighting wise. I guess it really makes Ratchet and Clank pop out.
Well, well, you two continue to surprise me. Step into the ring of heroes, and I will finally give you what you deserve.
What I
Ratchet, this
deserve.
is no time for you to become cautious. We have reached our goal.
I don't know. There's something fishy going on here.
Listen to your little metal friend, Ratchet. Your destiny is mere steps away.
It's just something doesn't seem right.
This is it. Qwark is going to help us stop Chairman Drek.
Why, thank you, Clank. You've been most helpful.
Okay. I'm suddenly discovering why the sound felt off. It's because there's not a separate slider for voice.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I'll try to manage it for a second.
What do you mean?
What do you think? He's
Oh
not
my
gonna
God.
help us. He's
Oh
gonna
my
kill
God!
us.
Although
You
actually
got
it was sort of obvious.
Although there is one problem with your hypothesis. I'm not going to kill you.
You're not?
No, he is.
But why?
But why? It's really not that difficult to decipher. I'm the official spokesman for Drek's new planet. I can't have you two getting in the way of my comeback.
This isn't over, Qwark.
No, but it will be soon.
Alright, let me fix that again. I guess there's never any music during the voiced cutscenes, it sounds like, so I should be fine to just have them both turned up. Thanks. I'm out of blaster ammo, aren't I? It's not great on damage anyway. I think it's surprisingly easy to pick the most fun weapon on your first playthrough of a game. Exactly what you mean. slow-moving shockwaves. I know, right? Well, we were talking a little bit earlier about it in, like, from a 2D perspective. There's a finite number of enemy mechanics that can exist. It really feels like. So you start to see the same, you know, brushstrokes in different games. Like the enemy that jumps up and down and has contact damage, the enemy that shoots a projectile, a ricocheting projectile, right? Like there's... You can think of them as like the rudiments. It's kind of cool. Like, when you learn to play drums, you can think of the drums as having rudiments where there's only so many... Oh, that's clever. There's only so many ways you can bring the stick onto the drum pad, and drumming is a combination of all of those. Something like 40 possible combinations. Buttquake that stuns you when you're not in the air. Yep, that's pretty classic. At least as far back as Mario 3, if not further. I wonder if anyone's tried to compile a definitive list of those rudiments. It's a really interesting concept. Aim that and dodge at the same time. Oh shit. And I'm dead. Lure me another bridge. Let me find a healing item. I think there's one in the corner back there where he is right now. I think that a lot of developers independently discover the rudiments just through development, and maybe through, you know, playing games. I don't think anyone's ever, like, looking at a list like you do with drum rudiments. Okay, there's a single stroke, double stroke, flam, single stroke roll, and so on. I can make that with a long jump, a wahoo jump. Not really try. I thought there was a healer over here. I must have wasted it before. Shit. Whoa, that's a new attack. Just knock out all my ammo? That's fucked. Cool attack, though. Hey. Right, with like, you know, tap and hold, tap and swipe, that sort of thing. I'm gonna die on my way out of here without the vision.
What an easy win!
Yep. Boss stay dead though? It did, thank God. Didn't realize that
I
bridge
wonder
part
what
would
that
sink.
Infobot is for.
Maybe it can replace you.
We're pinned down! We're pinned down! The ships are hammering our position from the air!
Guy's mustache.
That was a little too close! We need support! Now! Actually, I need support. My entire battalion went AWOL and left me to fight this war on my own. If the enemy doesn't kill those guys, I will. I'm not gonna last much longer! Requesting immediate assistance! Over and out!
Those are direct ships destroying that planet. We must help that commando.
Are you serious? That's it. I am out of here. Captain Qwark is gonna be sorry he messed with me.
This is not about Captain Qwark anymore. There are innocent lives being lost.
Yeah? Well, I'm done with this stupid hero stuff. I got my own agenda now.
Ratchet, this is not like you.
What do you know about me? You've spent this whole time looking for Qwark. You don't know anything about me.
I know that you will do the right thing.
So ends their
Well,
partnership
right now,
forever.
the thing I want to do is find Qwark. How do you start this stupid thing?
Have you forgotten? You need a robotic ignition system. I will start the ship if you agree to help that commando.
So, blackmail is it? Fine. Just shut up and start the ship.
Kitties are up to no good in the background after this cutscene. I gotta go check on them.
Back so soon?
Oh, you're talking to me.
I'm not in the habit of talking to myself, you buffoon. Did you get rid of them?
Yes. No. Well, I had this plan, and I thought...
You thought? You thought? I do the thinking around here, you slug-brained idiot. I simply needed you to eliminate those two nuisances before they could cause any real trouble.
But I wanted to...
Do you still want to be the highly paid spokesman for my planet?
Yeah?
Then the next time I send you to do a job, I want results! Now get out of my sight!
Cool. Batalia. Do, 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 do.
Add attention, you deserting maggots! The next time you soldiers try to go AWOL, I'll shoot you myself!
Look, I just want to...
Zip it, worm! You see those bombers? If you don't get to the turrets and knock those ships out of the sky, this whole planet's gonna be rubble! Meet me at the city entrance!
He needs our help.
Yeah? Why don't you go help him? Into another trap. Well, go on. Go fight some evil.
At least I'm not a coward.
Oh,
As soon as I find Qwark, I'm selling you for scrap.
shit. Be right back. I'm just making sure the cats aren't doing something incredibly destructive. It's a little bit destructive. Oh. Why? Just to make noise? Just angsty about not being fed yet? That simple? Some people's cats. Hey, the witness is winning the vote. That's cool.
I got some great bargains for you today. That's a real beauty.
I'm muted. Oops. if I want to... Oh. They're such jerks. If I wanted to pretty much only ever get blaster ammo from drops, all I'd have to do is just get my all my other ammos maxed out. Because what drops from ammo boxes is based on what you have and don't have, right? It'll never give you ammo for something that you're full on, I think. Oh yeah, these trespasser puzzles are actually kind of hard. I like it though. First one I did, I was like, this isn't a puzzle. This is too easy. Nope. Oh, those are reflectors? That's kind of cool. Alright, that tells me where I shouldn't put them, I guess. Oops. Didn't mean to. I've got 2 lasers in a row and a reflector that I could potentially place. Do these only ever have one solution as well, or can they have multiple solutions? Alright, Spider-Man DLC. It sounds like the game's super good, isn't it? I've heard basically nothing but positive things about it. It's like the original Arkham Asylum. Tend to only have one solution. Okay, I have to think about which parts of this are degenerate. So this can't be right, because then I have no way of getting to the bottom switch. Hitting a mirror is never a good thing, right? It just simply blocks the laser from reaching one of the exits. So I should never have a mirror that's in front of an exit, and I should never have a laser that's in front of an exit. So that significantly reduces the number of possibilities on the very top. That's potentially legal. I guess I'll start trying that one. Having a laser from the mirror can do. Oh, sometimes you don't want it to go through? But for this stage of the puzzle design, I don't want mirrors arranged that way, right? That can't be correct. That can't be correct. That could be correct. But now I need to get one in the top left corner. Top right corner, rather. That's what I'm talking about. You don't ever want to have a mirror in front of an exit, right? See if there's other legal orientations for the outermost one. That's potentially legal, but questionably useful. That's potentially legal, but questionably useful. It's illegal. So it has to be an orientation where it's not blocking anything and the laser's actually touching something. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the correct way to solve these. Okay. That's probably right. Then I just need to find a way to hit the top left one, bottom one, and the top right. Wait. Here we go, first try. Okay. So that's the first step to solving it, I think, next time I see one of those, is check the outer layer and check for the legal positions where lasers and mirrors are not blocking an exit. And then do the same for layer 2 and the same for layer 3. They're blocks, they reduce the puzzle degeneracy. Or increase the degeneration. They make it so that there are fewer solutions. I think that increases degeneracy. Okay. Going this way. Wrench you in the face, friend. If the enemies run around near the pipes to teach you that you can break them. Wahoo! Cool. These guys can't swim past the current. That is correct, it appears. I love long jumps like that. They're satisfying to do the input. Hello. Do not have a Devastator yet. I'm guessing the Devastator is not mandatory for enemies like this. Just does a lot of damage to them. And mine go up would take forever to kill that guy. I think someone mentioned last time, every game has kind of a ridiculously overpowered endgame weapon that you can unlock. Is that true? I'm not sure if I can make that. Alright, first try. Yeah, it costs 10,000. Cool. Satisfying location for that. Your BFG type weapon. It goes back to where it just came from. Maybe it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I feel like they got pretty good with health upgrades or health recovery placement. The early stages there were bajillions of them, which is fair. It's the beginning of the game, it should be easier. No, they don't spawn all that frequently. Or those guys warp between cover, and it's cool. The Devastator would be pretty nice. Probably have to kill this guy to get out of here. I die. I can respawn and try to get a Devastator. 200 more? Try to farm one up real quick. I think you... Is it true that you tend to get more nuts, or bolts rather, from boxes that don't respawn than you do from respawning enemies? Like your first pass through a zone is probably going to give you more than trying to farm any particular enemy in the game. So close. Gotcha. I never did try going over this way. Maybe that's the other path you were talking about.
I got some great bargains for you today.
Sweet. I have to use the other one so infrequently. Does this game have any way to upgrade the damage or stats on weapons? Or is that just in the sequels that has leveling up? Increased ammo, increased damage per hit, that sort of thing. Gotta go fast. I took damage from that. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so this is like funneling. Gotcha. This is basically timed jump presses. I'm not actually controlling the direction it's moving at all. Maybe I can control which side he jumps to by holding left or right between rails. Oh, how late in the game can you buy the golden weapons? That's cool. There we go. Basically hold left or right and then tap the jump button like this. Whoops. Double whoops. Oh, can I shoot those? I probably can. Not with that weapon. Most of those loop around eventually. Cool. This is pretty fun. Ugh. Wow.
Halt! Who are you? What are you doing?
We are on a mission to save the galaxy.
Speak for yourself.
Job grabbing the
Put your
ledge.
hands down. You look ridiculous.
Actually, I don't care who you are. I've got to get the heck out of here. I joined the army to get money to go to college. I never knew I'd end up in a war. Go figure.
What's that sound?
Noble cause,
War
sir.
were declared.
Noble my hiney. I just want to get home to my family. Here, I pulled this off a busted robot. Give me some bolts for bus fare and it's yours.
Oh. Ha 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 ha. Alright, well, presumably I get a warp. Okay. That's nice. Guessing that was part of why this thing was like, you know, there's another direction you can go where you spend all 10,000 of your volts. Gold Infobots just unlock a new planet that I can visit, right? So I should probably finish exploring this side of it first. Anyway. No, but seriously, I need to know where to send them. Is Bungie usually that cheesy? I mean, targeting that's kind of a pain in the ass, isn't it? The only Bungie game I've ever played was that Myth the Fallen Lords RTS. That's how I should use this one. I see. Aim down 6. Well, should probably kill all the enemies nearby. Yeah, I would agree. Are all of the Halo games, including spin-offs, considered to be good? Or are there any bad ones, or any of them that were made by Bungie? Sweet. Skip Halo Wars. What does 343 mean? Oh, is that the studio that made them? I heard Reach was really good. I remember any arcade guys talking about it back when it first came out. Is it Microsoft's answer to Siri named for Halo? Oops. I know some Halo spoilers, it's probably a bummer. It's too in the popular culture to avoid. Right on. Thank God all these mechanisms are triggered by oversized screws. Yeah. Just like, isn't it great that the space pirates build their bases with a bunch of Chozo morph ball switches? The technology that is only possessed by their greatest enemy. I always read that as an abstraction that, like, through his wiles, Ratchet is finding a way to get through this level.
Blasted
We're just
thing,
going
it
to
won't
use...
budge. I've tried everything I know short of nuclear weaponry. No, never mind.
Well, you tried. See ya.
Not so fast, soldier. You're going into that compound even if I have to throw you. Aha! That ventilation shaft leads to the turret platform. Soldier, find a way to use that shaft to infiltrate the compound undetected. You've shown bravery by making it this far, soldier. And for that, I reward you.
Master
I
Chef.
intercepted this communique that you might find
That's
useful.
awesome.
Take it. I'm off to find my battalion. Good luck.
Hello once again, fellow Blarg. I hope this message finds you well. As many of you know, our home planet is no longer habitable. We've abandoned our factories, our laboratories, and our happy lives because of the encroaching pollution, leaving much behind. Fortunately, the nearby planets will supply us with all we need to create our new home, which is nearing completion. Once our scientists locate the ideal orbit, our new world will be perfect. So reserve your space now. Prime locations are filling up fast. Good day.
Now do you understand why we must stop him? He won't rest until he has destroyed every planet in the galaxy.
Yeah? Well, I got bigger fish to fry.
Bigger than the galaxy?
Well, different fish anyway. Look, didn't that commando guy say we could get into that compound?
Yes, by using the ventilation shaft. But we will need something special to walk on that.
Fine, let's get going then. We'll come back later.
You will need a pair of Gadgetron Magneboots to traverse this ventilation shaft. Unfortunately, our scanners do not detect any Magneboots on this planet.
Got it, game. Roger. So that's a shortcut to go back. Sweet. The point, though, is that it's useful to remember that a lot of the things in any video game are mechanical gameplay abstractions. Like, even the fact that Nathan Drake kills hundreds or thousands of people is itself an abstraction. Like, even though that game kind of blurs the line between cutscene and gameplay, I feel like the only people he actually kills in the story are the ones that show up in cutscenes and maybe the bosses.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Ah, shit's expensive.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the next planet and get some bolts there, and I'll just remember that this planet has another Infobot for 2000. I have to come back here with the Magneboots anyway. Oh, hold on. I think I screwed up something with the clock. May have updated it, but not actually hit save. 1 second. I'll go ahead and go to this new planet first. Search the laboratories. Okay. I think that should be an hour ahead. I shouldn't kill everybody. I like that in Last of Us. I'm actually fine with, it almost feels like Last of Us is Naughty Dog being like, alright, fine, we'll make a game where we'll respond to the fact that the main character is a mass murderer. Because it totally fits in that setting. I screwed up the timer. It didn't save when I reset it. It's fixed. Well, that makes sense, because the place is all covered in pollution, so only Clank can go there. That's cool. It just has different faces. Can I actually select them? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, Yeah, Last of Us kind of has this like I Am Legend feel to it. The original book I Am Legend, not the movie. How'd they screw that up? It's the title of the book. It's the whole point of the whole story. Ugh. It's like, you almost couldn't mess something up worse. It's not even that particularly interesting of zombie fiction outside of that. Maybe I'm not supposed to be able to detect that guy. Outside of the point of the story, really it's vampire fiction too, technically, right? Oh, that's a cool way to teach me that. Oh, so that he can get up, because he can't really jump very well.
Gadgebots can't climb, but you can use your enter command to send them into the bucket.
Okay, I remember this. They won't drop down either, it looks like. Maybe if I drop down, they'll follow. Well, I guess we only ever hear about test audiences when it's a bad thing, right? You don't really hear about the movies that were saved by a test audience. There's a lot of talk about Suicide Squad having been changed significantly by test audiences, and that makes you wonder, like, was the previous version even worse? That movie's really bad, though. Good job. Oh, interesting. That's a cool puzzle. Hey, it's a Sarlacc. I guess I still kind of prefer when the artist gets as much control as possible. Sounds like Netflix is really good at doing that. Oh, really? Focus groups ruined a game? I haven't heard about too much use of focus groups for video games. Other than, like, you know, your typical UX teams. Hi, Ben. You so little? Let's see if he actually settles here. Yeah. Such a bummer. It's tricky, because Luke Cage Season 1, the first half was outstanding, and then it got kind of stupid. I actually didn't see Season 2. Focus groups prevented Portal 2 from having challenging puzzles. Yeah, I tend to not be the biggest fan of it.
Use the enter command to make the gadget.
I think it's tough. I think Portal 2 has a really good conveyance system, even compared to the first Portal. And a lot of stuff that was because of UX testing, like portal funneling, wouldn't have been in the game. Got too stuck, they would fix it. Yeah. Well, if you go and you play Half-Life 2, I really enjoyed that playthrough on stream, but it showed its age in a lot of its level design. There are a lot of areas where it only made sense what Valve wanted you to do after you figured it out, and it didn't really do a great job of pointing your eyes in the right direction. Or sometimes there would be level elements that would draw your eye in the wrong direction. Some of the commentary attests to it as well. I think more developers would benefit from showing their game to somebody and having them to go, wait a minute, does this actually make sense? Right. I would do that back when I used to dork around with RPG Maker. I would just show my game to a rando and they'd be like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm like, oh, right. You're a different person than I am. It's not obvious to you. I mean, that's something that points you in the right direction. Probably have to send these guys in and go find the rest of them. Only they'll follow me further down. Yeah, for sure. Did you ever make any level changes, Serp, from like watching streamers play your levels? Well, I didn't know clerks had executives to meddle. It's interesting. It was such a small film. It had a 1% clear rate. Interesting. What was the original ending? Did you ever find out why your easier, straightforward level had a lower clear rate? Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty dark. I could see why an indie filmmaker would want to do that, but like the tone of that movie does not warrant a dark ending. If it were a different movie, it would probably be fine. Whoops. Tight enough that people would quit and stop playing. And tight in the sense we've talked about where, like, you know, you didn't have a grace block. They had to be, if not pixel perfect, closer to perfect, jump at exactly the right time. Yeah, I really like that haunted house level. I really hope we get a new Mario Maker that gets consistent support from Nintendo. I feel like the lack of ongoing patches has kind of killed the community. Oh, I see. Interesting. Clever. Why'd the other one quit? Told you to wait, dumbass. Is he close enough for that to trigger? command just that one to wait. Maybe I have to get further away from it. No. Ah, enter will do it. Gotcha. Okay. So close to just being Crash Bandicoot boxes. Short of them saying TNT, even the sound effect is similar. I wonder if that's a 3D platformer rudiments thing. Only so many destructible containers that you can create. I guess the fact that they blow up the iron crates is also very Crash Bandicoot-y. I wonder how granular you could get if you wanted to like write a book or like a wiki article on the rudiments of 2D and 3D game design. Like I feel like there are things that are like the TNT box that exist in other genres of games. Like, is there an enemy in a turn-based RPG that is essentially a TNT box, right? Gotta get them right up to the door, I think. It's definitely true for like MMO design. I've seen that a lot. There's only so many sensical raid boss mechanics. Sorry, a TNT box like in Crash Bandicoot, it's a sort of box that when you touch it or bounce on it, it starts a short countdown and then explodes, which is necessary to destroy certain objects. So it's a puzzle and level design element. Yeah. I'm curious to what extent those rudiments are unique to genres like, you know, the 3D platformer. Or if you can, like, boil it down to the interaction that's expected of the player. The interaction is basically touch this thing and then don't. Let's see one more of these guys, huh? Yeah, I think the bomb in Final Fantasy is the closest thing I can think of. Similar concept. Touch this thing and then don't. The bomb might be a totally different rudiment, because you see enemies like that that exist in all sorts of RPGs. Enemy that is essentially a DPS check, because if it's allowed to live for too long, it instantly kills you. There's the robot I'm missing. Yeah. There he is. He wasn't close enough to follow last time. I do enjoy that when playing video games of getting to say that, like, oh, I get it, this is basically a bomb, or oh, it's basically patchwork rather, from World of Warcraft. I know, right? Oh, is that what happened? It died and respawned? I thought maybe I just didn't pick it up earlier. Interesting. These levels are cool. I like how limited you are in these stages. The fact that they'll never drop down is good. Keeps you from getting confused, I think. There we go. Yeah, I really need to play Thousand Year Door again. I only remember one thing about the game, and it was the Freaky Friday level. Yeah. One of those sequels that's just better than the original in almost every way. And then they lost their way. Hey, it's the magnetic boots. And I think I've got 2,000. That's funny.
These Magneboots are a device designed for climbing special metal surfaces. However, your feet appear to be too small.
Got that Skyrim level design over here, right? Loops back on itself with a shortcut. Super Paper Mario is pretty funny. I think I remember playing it up to the nerd level. See what else I can find over here. Just for funsies. You could play the rest of the Mario and Luigi games too. They feel very different. They kind of feel like, this isn't a perfect description, but like a WarioWare RPG, because every fight is a unique minigame. I played the very first Mario and Luigi game, and we did a little bit of the 3DS one on stream when it came out. But I've never played like Bowser's Inside Story, which I heard was pretty good. Bums me out when series don't get finished. I think that's always going to happen eventually. I guess I'd rather they have a final like anthology entry and then change the title. Shit. I was actually pretty good on these guys too. That's a good way to put it. It'd be great for Square and Nintendo to team back up and make Super Mario RPG 2. Sakurai moved heaven and earth and got Gino as a costume and Smash for the Wii U. As far as he got, though. Let's move on a preset path. Yeah, Ultimate's nuts. I think Sakurai benefits from just having lots of developers that are fans of Smash Brothers themselves. Hey, thanks for the follow, Cornelicus. How you doing? I don't know, I still can't believe he got Cloud. What the hell? They brought back Pichu, I know, right? Once he committed to bringing back all the characters, it's like, man, if they knew they were going to have to do that in the future, they probably would have thought twice about adding some of those characters. I'm surprised they got Snake back, too. Because Konami likes money, but... They sound like chirping birds. It's a long hallway. Brawl Meta Knight tier. Yeah, I'm surprised Young and Toon Link are separate characters. They could have just made them different costumes for each other. I don't know if they ever really had much of a difference in the first place. But Pyramid Head in Metal Gear Survive? Cool. Konami's the worst. Pyramid Head for Smash, right? I think Pyramid Head was in Sony's impotent attempt at making a Smash killer. Doesn't the roster in that game have problems, or it was like all humanoid characters or something? I heard it was pretty bad. I think I played it at PAX. Oh, he wasn't? I must be thinking of another game. Is there like a racer that he's in or something? Konami Kart Racer. It's interesting he's so popular, like, as just like a genre feature, because he's like very specific to the character of James from Silent Hill 2. He's probably the most like character specific enemy in the series. He doesn't really work as just a standalone scary monster. Yeah. I thought that movie was generally pretty good until it started trying to explain what was going on. There's like an exposition cutscene and the movie's just completely downhill from there. You know, there's a lot of implication in Silent Hill 2 that, like, the lore of the town is, like, maybe it's purgatory? Especially those lines, like, they look like monsters to you, and the one girl that, like, sees everything as on fire, and no one else sees things that way. 510. Missing one. What? Crash, Spyro, and Cloud were not in PlayStation All-Stars? Wow. They just didn't have third parties on board or something? Nice. Oh, it's aged very well. Silent Hill 1 has not due to PS1 graphics. Silent Hill 2, like, the bad voice acting almost kind of, like, adds to the bizarre, dreamlike... I think it's extra creepy that none of the characters really give a shit about the monsters. They don't really talk about how bad of a situation they're in. And, like, the really dry delivery, reading from a script delivery helps with that, I think. I really like Shattered Memories, the Silent Hill 1 remake for the Wii. Planet Pokitaru. I think that's something I've only ever really seen in Japanese horror. Like this reaction to horrific events that's just not proportional. Especially in horror video games from Japan. The characters just kind of like roll with the fact that there's a horrific humping pyramid monster, and they're just like, huh, I don't want to mess with that thing. Like, what? If this were Western horror, we would be way overstating how freaked out you are. These monsters. Find yourself a PS1 graphics advocate. I just think that the PS1 and N64 era of 3D, they're just never going to age this very well. It's not because they're like completely unsalvageably bad. Just everybody was doing 3D for the first time. They didn't really know what they were doing. Was Silent Hill 1 pre-rendered backgrounds? I thought it was fully 3D, which kind of contributed to it not aging super well. I see, I dropped down. Yeah, I think N64 games tend to look better, but I think that the developers were already more aware of the limitations. PS1 was pushing it a little bit too far in a lot of cases. Especially if you look at a game like Final Fantasy IX, it looks like it's really pushing the PS1 as far as it can.
You giving me these or not?
They are
whereas N64 was a lot more stylized.
Oh.
You like the pixelated textures in the PS1?
What do you have in there?
Gears, metal filings.
No one's tried to make a
you know what I mean.
Nostalgic PS1 era
I will
game.
show you this, but you must promise to stay focused on our mission.
Is it something about Qwark?
Cities are full of smog, swamps are full of muck, and tar pits are full of tar. But here at Jowai Resort, the sun shines 24 hours a day. Visitors get a free O2 mask to explore our warm waters. The benign marine life will welcome you to the big blue world under the sea. You can also use our complimentary flippers to partake in speed swimming. So come to Jowai Resort and leave your world and your troubles behind.
Jowai Resort, Pokitaru.
Yeah, Spyro holds up probably the best of any PS1
come
game.
on, switch off your nerd circuits.
It
and
went
have
with
some
3D
fun.
graphics.
Look, we'll go just long enough to pick up the O2 mask.
Perhaps the extra oxygen will help your brain to function properly.
Yeah, and maybe the salt water will rust your mouth shut.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank. I'm gonna go buy this other thing real quick. Well, no, I won't.
We're
Oops. It's a different genre, Aki. I think that's what Nintendo managed to achieve. They made a different genre that felt spiritually like it was Mario, but it's not at the end of the day, and they shouldn't be judged on the same scale. Like, it's not fair to compare Super Mario World to any of the 3D Mario games. Well, even beyond just the camera, they're just completely different kinds of games. The uncluttered look of PS2 GameCube era games. Yeah, sometimes I'll go back and they'll feel kind of empty. It's a tough balance.
I got some great bargains for you today. That's a real beauty.
Hold on my bolts for now. I think you guys said anytime I visit a new Gadgetron vendor, all of the vendors now have all of the stuff for sale. Scenic Jowai Resort sewers. Hi, Leah.
Hey, you two are the first friendly faces I've seen in weeks.
I could agree with that. And then
You
3D
are
Land and World both have a lot of
friendly,
2U sequences.
To you, yes. To him, no.
Well, friend, have I got a deal for you? Since the Blarg began dumping their toxic sludge into our ocean, the wildlife has,
Become ravenous mutants?
yeah, you could say that. All my customers either left or became lunch. So I'm closing the place down. However, I just so happen to have one, count 'em one, O2 mask left.
How much?
It's not for sale.
But you said...
I said I had a deal, and indeed I do. You boys get rid of those Blarg ships, and it's yours. Just escort me to the other end of this resort, and you can use our jet fighter.
Jet fighter, eh? All right. But you better not try to stiff us.
Hope that he's not being literal when he says escort. He is being literal. Okay. Thing is not our friend. You on the second one now, Spiky? Yeah, I've enjoyed coming back to some games that I was too young when I first played them. Got a couple like that. It's a way to change classes, and it's pretty clearly explained. Isn't it where you have to change which Jin you have equipped? Am I remembering that right? Different combinations of Jin unlock different classes. I had a chance to restock, I see. Good. Right. Ice flamethrowers work in water. Yeah, I've run into that problem in other games. The starting configuration is good enough that you don't want to experiment. Stuff to fix, I feel like, too. You probably need to do something. I wonder if I can use the suck can on these guys if I can use it. I can. It's easy. You probably have to do something where the player is like forced to use one for a specific boss fight. I think that's usually the rule. If you want the player to try something, you have to force them to use it, and don't let them leave an area until they've used it at least once. Oh, whoops. Okay, I guess I don't have to wait for this to be full. I don't think I realized that before. It's tap versus hold, I guess. This game and its bridge animations. There's a puzzle-solving spell that requires you to put 2 elements of one character. Right. More fights that require you to do it. Maybe you have a pop-up beforehand saying you need it, that sort of thing. It's a really important hallmark of Metroidvania level design, especially. Putting you in a situation where you like drop down a hole and you cannot exit the hole until you understand how to use the power-up that's behind that
We're here.
drop.
Now where's that fighter?
Right there in that locked garage. One tourist crashes a jet and wham! Lawsuit.
That lock is unlike any I have seen.
Very astute observation, Mr. Shiny. I can't open it either. I don't trust the tourist, and the board of directors don't trust me. So we have a little problem.
We have a little problem. I just want the O2 mask. So if you can't open up the lock, that's your problem. Now cough up the mask.
Well, I can see that you really wanted to fly our jet. So I'll tell you what. Go talk to Bob at his Robo Shack. He knows about these locks.
You'll need to use the special features of a Gadgetron thruster pack to activate this switch. You can find one at Bob's Robo Shack. Just around the corner.
No way to know they exist, except to spend 10 minutes swapping Jin. Or look up a guide. Yeah, I don't like walkthrough bait like that. I feel like a lot of Japanese RPGs have that.
We got here. Hey, watch it. I recognize that work. Y'all been to Seattle, ain't you?
Yeah, he installed the helipack.
I can see that. I taught that idiot brother of mine everything he knows. Look, if you want some real hardware, I can fix this little feller up with a thruster pack. Ooh.
Will it help us get past that weird lock by the fighter garage?
Ah, you know about those gizmos, huh? Well, it sure as heck will. It's got a real special power slam move built right in.
It's a good thing I need this to get to that jet, or you'd be out of luck, pal.
Ratchet.
I've got it. I'll have you fixed up faster than a horny toad a hopping. Well, there you are, little buddy. Better than new. That's right. I am the man.
Yeah, not bad.
Do you have to re-earn these upgrades in between different Ratchet & Clank games? Like, do they do anything to explain why you don't have them anymore?
You will need a
That's cool.
Blargian pilot unit to operate this jet fighter. Power scanners do not indicate such a device on this planet.
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. So can I swap between these? Because I feel like the new Wahoo jump isn't quite as... Maybe it has counter roll. The fact that it's not an arc makes me wonder if it can make the same jumps. It can. Let's get that Infobot and explore the walled city. Is it mostly just a butt stomp? It's saved in a while. Do that. Assume the game's auto-saving every so often. Just in case there's like a power out or something. You are mostly just a butt stop. Oh, it has been auto-saving. Let's use strafe. How does that work? The little aiming stuff? Oh. That's cool. Yeah, it seems like that's a huge deal. Thanks for the heads up.
Thanks a bunch. Good luck saving the galaxy or whatever.
Greetings, Supreme Executive Chairman Drek. As you can see, we're about to test our newest automated pilot's helmet. This helmet allows pilots to control our latest high-tech fighters using only their thoughts. Please enjoy the demonstration. We still have a few minor adjustments to make.
Whoa! If they ever get the kinks worked out of that thing, I have got to get me one of those.
If they are working for Chairman Drek, they may know where he is.
Is that all you can think about? Drek this and Drek that? I got my own problems.
If you cannot see the importance of this situation, you do have problems.
Yeah? Well, if you're so smart, how come you fell for Qwark's stupid trick? Ah, forget it. We both need to get to this planet, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, cartoon platformer characters with an arc. That's new. This game has a lot of nice quality of life features. Like, I feel like I've played games that make you do a puzzle like that, and you get there and you don't have enough bolts to buy the thing. And it's like, well, you're just gonna have to go do the puzzle again. Really glad it gives you the work. Find the pilot's. Okay. I know I still have to do the Magneboots thing here. I'm gonna save that for later though. That's appreciated. Oh, it seems like Ratchet being a dick is kind of a really important plot point. It's frustrating. Okay, I can't. Well, so much for that plan. Yeah, that. I mean, I died, but I can see how that's going to help a lot later. Bridge I'll unlock later, presumably. I'm puzzled. Oh, circle. I pressed every button, but I assumed that would have me back out. These guys aren't unlimited, are they? That was a spawner. Can you farm bolts off of them indefinitely? Nice. That was a mistake. We got bumped into place though, that's good. Here. You can farm, but it's not efficient. Actually. This game probably has one area that's the most efficient to farm in the whole game, I'm guessing. Yeah, right. What's the farming glitch? I wouldn't mind knowing that. I'd like to be able to buy all this stuff for that. Going back to old zones. For now, I'm just gonna try to get as much money as I can from normal play. Whoops. That's not great. Come on. I think I'm immune if I can get in there. That's cool. Oh, the doors don't stay open. Interesting. So just getting on, touching the thing is enough to board it. I kept thinking I had to press a button, and I think I was pressing the button to cancel out of it. It's getting me in trouble there. There we go, yeah, just walking into it's enough. I think I could have survived last time if I had kept piloting instead of pressing the cancel button. Just gotten used to triangle being activate. I'll probably die here and then I'll be more careful the next attempts. I think you might have let you get on the hoverboard track on foot. You can use the taunter on infinitely respawning boxes. Oh, that's cool. I guess when I unlock it, let me know. I might go do that. Like this hallway really benefits from having strafing, it looks like. Whoops, nope. Oh, I'm getting more bolts every time. Ratchets up in difficulty. Ah. Yeah, I think a lot of it just has to do with the significantly reduced provision of healing items compared to the early game. Yeah. Alright, back up and get that healing item now that all this stuff's dead. Do the games all have a comparable overall difficulty level? Figured I could do that. This one's the hardest. Interesting. Son of a bitch. Man, that sucked. I avoided all damage from them before too. Later games have super hard optional challenges. That's... Probably find a weapon to kill those guys more efficiently. Lack of checkpoints, less refined mechanics, I can hear that. Woof. There it is. It's pretty close to having that the first time I came in here, but I hit triangle. Cool. The absolute worst button I could have pressed. Really glad Ratchet's own weapons can't damage him. Let's run into those bomb things. Hey, it's the helmet.
Now this is cool.
Oh, cool. I really just equipped it. I like it. I like games where you're constantly powering up the character model. That's where we saw the commercial. Oh, do you have less health in this game than the other ones? Oh, that's nice. Charging into a box like that. Blows it up automatically. Oh, you just have to keep up with it? Interesting. Kind of thing to make sure you did enough leveling up before you can attempt the late game areas. Do you have to spend resources on leveling up health that you could have spent on something more useful? Yeah, right, sure. Oh wait, sewers you want to do later. I should have a shortcut over here. Yes.
Press the square button to fire machine guns, and press the circle button to fire all missiles. Go faster, hold down.
I see. This stage is already pretty reminiscent of some of the flying stages in Spyro. That's cool. Nice. Gotcha. Some of them have health. Oh shit. Whoops. Try that again. Yeah, I could see they crashed through 10 of those as well. Oh, I shoot the box to get the missiles? No. Okay, I see. Where can I see my health? Is it displayed somewhere? I'm right. So it's around the radar. Oh, I see. The meter decreases as I take damage. Gotcha. Gotcha, and it just filled up. Stop it! Mission complete. Alright.
Well, I guess that should do it. Here you go.
Thanks.
It's about time.
Now, is that also a fighter pilot mask? Or do I have to swap between them? I guess I'll go check out the sewers now. I see. Let's go. Good night, sir. See ya. Yeah, I can swim indefinitely. Oh boy, water physics. This is a gate to make sure this is like just barely impossible to swim if you don't have a mask. Now I might actually learn the water mechanics. I have to be underwater only. It's doable without the mask. Yeah. Here's something where I think I'd prefer it if if these are all context sensitive, instead of making you actually equip it and press the button. It's something that could change in the later games, I suppose. Okay, so there's 4 exits, which greatly limits the locations where I can have stuff legally. It's here or here, right? Are the only 2 legal ones? Try this. Now I know how to approach those. That's usually the issue I run into in games like this, or in any sort of puzzle in a game, like Where are my number of legal moves limited? That shape puzzle in The Witness. Is there a fast swim button in this, or just ascend and descend? I think it's just ascend and descend. Oh, shit. That feels pretty good. That's illegal, illegal, possibly legal, illegal, possibly legal. So that's one over here. You want to confirm that the laser is actually pointing at something productive too, determining whether or not it's a valid potential solution. Fine, right? Ah, shoot. Make sure the outermost is correct. That's illegal, that's illegal. That one might actually be right. No, it's not, because that's blocking. And that can't be right either. This one's tricky. Okay. That could be right. Ah, but then that blocks that. Son of a bitch. It's tough. No, the bottom one's not being covered. Because the outermost is being wasted. Well, okay. That helps me. Both lasers in the outside have to be hitting something. Right? Otherwise it's a waste. That can't be right. That can't be right. That is right. Got it. So two things I need to look for. One, is anything on the outside blocking anything? And two, are all the lasers on the outermost ring able to activate something? If not, then it's not correct. Gotcha. Oops. So a little too close. This game doesn't track total boxes destroyed, I assume, right? Crash them. Oh, the O2 mask is optional? Interesting. This part seems like it would be really hard without it, if not impossible. You die when you run out of oxygen, right? It doesn't start draining your health. You do need it to progress, okay. Yeah, because it seemed like a lot of work to get it if it was optional. Okay, so outermost ring has 2 lasers. What are the possible configurations where it can hit 2 lasers? That's 1. And it's not blocking anything. That is a wasted laser in this case. There's only 1 laser in this outermost one here. This has 2, so it has to trigger 2 at once. It has to be 2 adjacent ones. That's the only one that can possibly be. Okay. So then the outermost one is incorrect. That could be right. Now I'm wasting other ones. That's not right. Can't be right. Can't be right. Probably like this, right? There's a gap of 2? Wait a minute. Can there be a wasted laser? Maybe there can. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. No, there can't. Okay, never mind. So the only gap of 2 is either the top left and the bottom left one, or the far left one and the top middle one. So how do I trigger both of those? That's 1. That's not right. Oh, and they can only face a certain way too. That has to be right then. I'll move everything else, so that makes sense. No, because that blocks that. Oh, the slime's saying die. That's a good question. Those have to be those 2. There's no other choice, right? Is there actually a gap between those? Oh, that's confusing. Okay. Sorry, I've been misreading the lasers here. So the innermost circle, there's actually a gap of 1 in between them. Even though it looks like they're directly adjacent to each other. Probably should be looking at the target instead. That would make more sense. I can't possibly hit that red one though. So other places where I can get a gap of 1. Not there. Not there. That's potentially legal. But that's not going to work. The other gap of 1 is in the very top right. Yeah, these 2. Yeah, but then the bottom one is blocked. Huh. I'm struggling to find the degeneracy here. There's only one possible solution. And there I'm not getting it because I'm blocking it at the top. There we go. First try. I like how tricky those are.
What are you doing here?
I'm searching for a very elusive and
Those are
secret
goggles. I thought that was his face.
Raritanium?
It's his mouth.
Maybe.
The oceans on this planet are said to be an excellent source of that element.
Well, not anymore. All that toxic dumping has obscured any trace of it. You will find Raritanium for me.
No, I will not.
Piece of junk. My latest invention, the Persuader. I intended to use it to control minds, but, well, the only thing it's got me so far is a discount from Gadgetron vendors.
Oh, I shouldn't have bought anything so far.
Well, I'll trade it for some Raritanium.
I believe planet
That's what I've been doing.
is a source of that element.
Our long-range sensors do not detect Raritanium on this planet. Our database indicates that the best place to locate this mineral is on planet...
Guys. That's what I mean when I say breaking the degeneracy. Okay, let's get out of here.
Our long-range sensors do not detect Raritanium.
Cool. So I think I have to go do the Magneboots level. I think I've done everything else but that. Explore the walled city. Okay. We're going to be running today until the play clock says 6 hours and 15 minutes. It's going to make the really expensive stuff cheaper. This is right. Oh cool, that'll be equipped automatically. Ah, that's awesome. Oh shit, just fell through the map. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, good to know. It will not keep me bound against what appears to be the solid sides of the track. I feel like the way the camera moves during it though. You can't use gadgets up here, it looks like. This is a really clever level design element, I like this. I see that's a spawn. Son of a bitch. Oh shit. One over here already. Sweet. Does the Devastator actually do more damage? It's hard to tell if those things have more than 3 hit points. Seems like most of the enemies in this game have 3 hit points regardless of what you hit them with, outside of boss fights. The value is just, it can hit them more reliably because of the homing. Checkpoint. Nice. Well over 3 shots from other weapons. Okay, gotcha. I guess I never tried anything else. Go to turret.
Hey, I know you two.
Look, the plumber's back.
Very funny.
What are you doing here, sir?
Maintenance. What else? I help fix this planet's useless air defenses.
Well, I think you'd better hurry up.
The turret works fine, you little yahoo. It's the locals. They haven't got the skilled manpower to use it.
I'm a pretty good shot.
You? No, I could lose my job.
Oh, come on. What's the sense of keeping up a turret if nobody's gonna use it? Besides, the Blarg chased you off the last planet. Why don't we pay him back?
Well, all right, go on if you want. Just don't break anything.
Ratchet's James Arnold Taylor, right? Titus? No, Clank's Tom Kenny. He's also the modern voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. Where did skill from? So a bunch of like achievements, right? Something.
Look who's awake. You're lucky I was here to drag your unconscious keister out of that turret. Good news is, I got the cannon fixed again.
Oh, really? Huh. I really thought it sounded like him, too. Let myself believe it, I guess. I understand what I'm looking at this time. Should be okay. This one, my health is in the lower left corner, right? Does this one actually want me to shoot the like little missile bandoliers, or is that just reducing the number of shots it can fire at me?
Well,
like
well. Looks like he's good for something after all. Here, take this.
What is it?
It detects underground bolts. My grandfather designed it to suck up loose change on any planet in the galaxy. What a cheap old man he was. Well, see you around sometime.
Since you now own the metal detector, a bolt icon will show up on screen whenever you are near a buried stash of bolts. When equipped, the metal detector will give you signals to indicate your proximity to the buried bolts. The detector plate will always indicate the direction to the bolts. Hold down the circle button to activate the device. As you move closer to the bolts, the rings will become redder and the beeping will become faster. Continue holding down the circle button, and once you are directly over the bolts, the metal detector will suck them out of the ground.
Neat. I don't have to it equipped all the time. It's nice. Oh, right. Quick select. Yeah. It's gotta be strictly optional, right? Probably need an Infobot to get to another planet. I'm trying to remember other zones that I haven't visited. I got close to. Maybe the captain guy will give me an Infobot. That's the thing I unlocked at the end of the last session, right? It like summons the sand sharks and stuff. Is that right? That was a really long tutorial video, given that most weapons don't have one. Maybe people, like in playtesting, didn't understand how it was supposed to work. Oh shit. I don't want to do this. I forfeit. Thank you, game. Where is the captain guy? Do I have more Infobots to get here, or am I done now? Okay, thanks. Well, I gathered that the metal detector was an optional gadget, but I was wondering if blowing the stuff out of the sky was gonna get me an extra Infobot. Let's see, I did the sewer level. I think I did everything I could do. I guess I can look, right? It'll tell me if I've got things to do in a town. Explorer's Ratchet. Oh, with the O2 mask. That's nice. You won't necessarily get lost. That's cool. It's a totally different level now. Does it even let me go back to the Clank only parts of the stage? Didn't look like it. Whoa, whoa, wow, wow? Yeah. Whee! Oh, you dick. You're the worst. Okay, learn my lesson. They don't die in 3 wrench hits. Can't be sunlocked, right? That's what I thought was gonna happen, is I was gonna be able to sunlock them. Sounds like a stock. Pterodactyl sound effect. It is interesting that your first gadget is the bomb glove. I feel like they should have given you the blaster first. Bomb glove seems like it has a more niche use case. That thing wakes them up, I see. Gotcha. Maybe, yeah.
Hi there, Fuzzball. Oh, that's a nice one.
Walloper. I'm saving until I have a discount there. So sleepy. So I can ignore them if I can kill the little birds that wake them up. There's an Infobot over there. I can get it if I go around. These guys especially look like the scientists from Crash. Alright, fire's not great against those guys. Oh, those will get me out back. Ha. Maybe I need to get to that Infobot through other means. That sounds like a stock seagull sound effect. Oh shit. Damn. I have a fixed camera angle here. I can't even. I thought I saw another one over here. thought so. Wasn't the thing that was dangerous though. Got it. Healing rate right about now. Actually has to land on an enemy to work. Thought so. Woof. Ooh, Doom seems very strong. It's very low effort. Seems pretty doomy. Oh, wow. All the way back to the beginning because of that. Jesus. That sucks really bad. I think it's like the most punishing death I've had in the whole game so far. I just slipped on my jump. Lost all that ammo. Oops. Because if it set me back to where I originally fell, it wouldn't be so bad. Wait, that's the way I came, isn't it? Shit. And I got dive bombed. Alright. Do they both land in the same place? I assume not. Jesus. You gotta be really far away to be able to kill that thing. Anyway, I can get a full heal for free. Catchtron vendors won't heal me, right? I used all that Devastator ammo too. Yikes. I was doing so well too. Slipped and fell. It's just a passenger ship. I already killed the dangerous one. Oh, I did not. There's another one. I'm just screwed without having the Devastator ammo. And it's really expensive to buy, if I remember correctly.
I got some great bargains for you today.
Yeah, gross. I don't think I have a choice. He's hiding around that corner. Let's get him out. I wasted one. That's okay, I have enough for the other one. Is a ground pound okay damage at all, or not really? Twice as much damage as a normal Ratchet. Okay, no falling allowed. Definitely not paying for itself in terms of bolts dropped. I used all my Glove of Doom ammo, which is really nice before. Womp womp. Okay, 2 mines are enough. That's good. Okay. This is where I slipped and fell because I didn't see that there was a drop there at all. Oh, does the suck cannon pull them into the mines? Or taunts pulls them towards the mines? Oof, just went right off the edge there. Hopefully that's a shortcut platform right there. I think it's not yet. No. That looks like that's a shortcut, though.
This is a premium nanotech dispenser. You can purchase a can to increase your maximum health.
Is this the first one of these I could have found in the whole game? That makes sense. Oh, it's the only one. Interesting.
This dispenser also carries Ultra Nanotech, the very latest in Gadgetron technology. Ultra Nanotech is 3 times more potent than Premium Nanotech.
30,000. Okay. The Orphanizer. Pretty great. One second, sir. Nothing important. feel like that's fairly tame. The series seems to kind of have that irreverent, not all the way for kids feel to it. Oh, I guess here we are. That's good. Alright, so there's certain puzzle areas. So the sole purpose of going that way was to get the health boost station. That's fine. It's good. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. I'm not sure if I'm ready to like place a bunch of mines and then swap weapons. So I guess I must be able to make this jump. Thought it was one of those, we'll let you see it from a distance. Way to remind you that you're actually upside down. Alright, I'll die before I finish this one, but that's okay. Ah, that's cool, he won't jump. Maybe I can shoot it? Oh, I see. I'm gonna die. Just panicking, trying to kill this thing. Okay. Suck it. Explosions can wake them up. Interesting. Guess that makes sense. Oh dear. Oh, not one of these guys again. That's cool. Whoa. Got you.
Hello again, everyone. Supreme Executive Chairman Drek here to fill you in on our progress. We have now found the perfect orbit for our planet, one which will allow for the optimum temperature all year round. However, there is a planet now occupying that orbit, and sadly, for its few insignificant inhabitants, it must be destroyed. That's why we've created this! The Planet Buster Maximus, a device capable of blowing an entire planet into subatomic particles.
Zoom.
We're quite proud of it. Here's how it works. We attach the Planet Buster to this ship, fly it into orbit around the planet, and let it go! Kaboom! Quite ingenious, really. Once our trained professionals put the finishing touches on our new planet, everything will be complete. Thank you. Goodbye.
Now this guy's gonna blow up an entire planet? That's just mean.
That's what I've been telling you.
Look, I'm still gunning for Qwark. If we end up taking out Drek too, hey, fine. What?
You do care.
Don't push it, pal.
Hey, Planet Hoven, that's where I get Raritanium, and then I can actually buy things again. Oh, I see where we are. So I'm done on this planet now, right? Can't think of anything else I'd be able to do. Sweet. Oven time, let's go. Right. I'll be doing that for a long time, though. Bomb Factory Hoven.
That must be the ship that will transport the bomb.
You think? Great work, Detective.
Double tap the R1 button to activate hover, and hold the L2 or R2 button to strafe from side to side.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Drone. I'm gonna try to avoid buying any ammo too. I'm sure the discount also impacts ammo purchases. Oh really? Okay. I don't feel too bad spending it on ammo. I see, I gotta use the... I just barely got it. Nice. I was supposed to use the slingshot. A lot of the ammo doesn't cost one though, that's more what I'm worried about. Ice physics, everybody's favorites. Oh, I see. Clever. That's a bummer. Cutting it close again. I don't mind physics in 2D platformers. I think it drives me crazy in 3D ones though. Oh, I see. Oh, that's an instant kill. No kidding. Huh, and there's a checkpoint here this time. Weird. You just get better about checkpoints later on, you're saying? surprised that they made wall jumping physics based instead of having it be a button press like cutscene. I expected it to be like a cutscene. I think that's how it works in Metroid Prime, right? Cannot get it for the life of me now, and I can't just touch it either. I have to bounce into it. I'm just happening to not hit either of those. It's the worst. I think that's what's supposed to happen. Not whatever was happening to me there a bunch of times. That's what I thought. Oh my god, ice physics. That was on accident, but I'll take it. Calculated. Oh man. Ice physics in 3D are fine so long as you're always moving forward, but the instant you have to turn... he says, approaching a bridge that he's gonna have to turn on. This is where we hover instead. Whoops. Come on, game, be nice. Put me back where I started. Not where I started. Here. That's what I meant. Thank you. God, video games can't actually hear you. Hovering gives you less friction. They actually turn though, which is nice. Oof.
Oh, heck.
Is there a problem, sir?
Y'all wouldn't have any spare parts, would you?
Help yourself.
These dang rocks are too tough. I keep breaking my drill.
That rock is Raritanium.
Hey.
Let me look at that drill.
Well, shoot my dog and call me Sally. Thanks, partner.
No problem. I suppose I could take that rock off your hands, too.
Heck, here you go.
Sweet. That was easy. But I want a shortcut. Maybe there's some. So I'm not gonna be able to come back here though. Not that I need to, since I already got the thing up there, but it helps me remember where I haven't been. Spring Raritanium. Raritanium, excuse me. Yeah, do I have a warp to the inventor? Or a shortcut, rather? Oh, nice. That's gonna be neat.
Perfect! This is precisely what I need. You will bring me more Raritanium.
You can't
You're kidding
be
me.
serious.
Ah, well, I tried.
Thank you. Glad he was not serious. Love the good stopping point that I have a clear next thing to do. I'm actually going to go back to the planet that I need to do stuff on so that when future me watches the VOD, next time this is on Subblock, I'll know where to go and what to do. And I should be able to shop there with my remaining money. See how much of a discount it actually is. Frosty.
I got some great bargains for you today.
That's less of a discount than I thought it would be.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a nice one.
Still a discount. Can't complain.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh, the Walloper doesn't have ammo? Interesting. Oh, cool. Option. So does this thing have ammo, or does it just protect me from hits or something? Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's just a passive. That's pretty nice. Is that just strictly better than the wrench? I guess it can't be thrown like the wrench. That was worth buying. Sweet. I like the dash forward as well. The wrench feels kind of sluggish. Yes. Cool. Make sure I actually saved. Just really fast save. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll let you know what's coming up for the rest of this week and next week.